Over the weekend, I saw Ant-Man Wrestlemania, and I gotta say, I wasn't impressed. Ant-Man's always been my favorite MCU character, MCU hero. I've just always clicked with Ant-Man more than any other superhero. I don't know, I've just always preferred him over everyone else. I love Iron Man, I love Captain America, I love the actors who play those characters. I love Thor. You know, I love all the OGs. But when Ant-Man came on the screen for me, I just fell in love with him. I don't know what it was. I guess it was just the way he carries himself, the way he loves his daughter, the way he becomes, especially in the first Ant-Man, he becomes the superhero that his daughter envisions. And I don't know, there's just something about that I've always just not related to, because I don't have a child or a daughter, but I don't know, I've just always been drawn to that more than, and Ant-Man has just more than, I've always just been drawn to that more than anyone else. And Ant-Man's always been a character that I've always felt was just more grounded than other superheroes in Marvel. Of course, you know, there are the exceptions like Daredevil, the Punisher, all those others, the street MCU superheroes. But Ant-Man has always just been, you know, he's always been my guy, my go-to. And I love Paul Rudd too, as an actor. I've always thought he has just been so great, and he's probably what makes he's probably the one that makes the character, really, for me. I've always just been more fond of Ant-Man than anyone else. He's my favorite MCU superhero. So when I saw Ant-Man Wrestlemania, I wasn't impressed. I mean, the story's, I don't know, it's okay. It's nothing to write home about. Kang, I think, is the best part of this movie. Jonathan Majors absolutely kills it. If you've seen my videos on The Harder They Fall, both of them, all three of them, you know that I love Jonathan Majors. I think he's one of my favorite actors on the market right now. I think he's phenomenal, and he's great in this movie. If anything, I would say see this movie just for Jonathan Majors. I wouldn't probably go to theaters for it. I'd probably just wait till it comes out on Disney Plus or whatever. But yeah, yeah, he was great. I love Jonathan Majors. I always will love Jonathan Majors. You know, one of my favorite actors on the market, like I've just said. I think he does a really great job in this movie. Is the next Thanos. Yeah, he's the next Thanos, and he has a certain drive, a certain passion to conquer. I guess I should put a spoiler warning. So spoiler warning for Ant-Man Wrestlemania. He plays this character. And Kang has always been, even in the comics, he's always been this character that, well, I mean, conquers. At the end of Loki, we see Kang for the first time. Well, he's not called Kang. He doesn't call himself Kang the Conqueror. He calls himself He Who Remains. And what He Who Remains means is, He Who Remains is the guy in the chair. He's the guy who is the controller of the universe. Not God per se, but he's the one who controls the sacred timeline, as we learn in Loki. He is basically the only good Kang, in a way. He's the only good Kang. He's the one that well, I don't know if he's the only good Kang, but he's the one who is willing to make sure that none of the other Kangs conquer the universe, the multiverses, and because that's basically what he's there to do. And in the movie, in Ant-Man 3, he plays this, like, he plays that role, but he plays like the evil side of He Who Remains, the evil one, the evil twin in a way. And actually, now I think about it, he does look like an evil twin of He Who Remains. One of the things that I thought that was weird was they kind of nerf his character. I don't know, Kang, they like, it's not like they nerfed him in a way that like he's now less powerful, but no, he's more nerfed as in like he just becomes stupid. Like he kind of gets there's a part in the movie where he's like shooting lasers, and it's like very effective. It's killing anyone who comes close to him. If he would have done that with the ants, he would have been fine. But no, and that movie makes it seem like he's this like the ants are too much for him, and he's getting overwhelmed by ants, and he somewhat loses, and he does end up losing, I think. I don't know, it's kind of unclear. Even the movie makes it kind of unclear, which I like that part, actually. I liked how the movie was even asking itself, did we win, or did we not win? What happened? What happened at the end? And I thought that was pretty cool. Darren Cross comes back in this movie, and he comes back as Modoc. It's very just goofy. He has like this. He has this like this weird oh my gosh, his CGI is so bad. So bad. It doesn't look good at all. There's been a lot of comparisons of the George Lopez head in Spy Kids. You know, the one that's like really big, and comparing it to Darren Cross's Modoc, and it's funny because the George Lopez version looks so much better. It's very funny. It's Darren Cross in this movie is just so goofy. Like, I don't even know what he's like really there for, other than he's also there too. I don't know. He's basically, actually, you know what? No, I do know what he's there for. He's there to be like the punching bag. He's the movie's punching bag. You know, everyone in the movie, no one can take him seriously. The audience can't take him seriously. Yeah, he's just so cartoonish and just comical. He's just comical. He's comical. That's all he is. And even in one part of the movie, he has like, you can see his like little butt cheeks. I'm not making this up. This is in the movie. It's very, very odd. Modoc is the only one who really, I mean, his arc is so weak and it's so bad. It's basically, his arc is this: don't be a dick. And it was just so generic and so just lazily written. It's so in this part, Modoc comes, you know, attacking Cassie. Cassie easily beats him the fuck up without any challenge or any, just like basically like flicks him away. And she is interesting too, because and the reason it makes Modoc look really bad, because Cassie just got this like, I guess, other Ant-Man suit, and she really just doesn't know how to use it that well. She's not at full strength, but she's learning as the movie goes, and by the end I think she ends up knowing how to use the Ant-Man suit fully. But she ends up fighting Modoc, beats his ass without even any trouble or any challenge, and by the end, after she's beaten him up, she tells him to just not be a dick. And it's just very lazily written. Very, you know, Modoc is actually a cool character in the comics. I like him. And I think he was just wasted in this movie. He's just a punching bag. But I don't know how else they would be able to tell a character and convey a character like Modoc without it, and take him seriously as well. I mean, that's just, I don't know. It's very difficult, because he's a very cartoonish villain, you know? He's just like George Lopez in Spy Kids 3. Not like as good as George Lopez in Spy Kids 3. And yeah. And another thing too was weird. Hope, the Wasp, I guess, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Wrestlemania is what the movie is titled. And I guess at the very end, it was clear that they had to have the Wasp come back and help Ant-Man defeat Kang, and they have to have like a loving moment on screen together, because why else would they call it Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, Wrestlemania, whatever it's called, Ant-Man 3? Like, what else? Why else would they have to? So it kind of felt like that was shoehorned in. That was Yeah, this movie is not impressive. It doesn't do anything. It really disappointed me. I don't know what I was expecting. The stakes were getting too big. I think that's what it was really for Ant-Man. I mean, basically saving the multiverse in a way. I mean, I guess it was unclear if it's really shown that they didn't really save the multiverse. Because I mean, they'll probably end up saving the multiverses in Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, and that's probably what will happen. But yeah, the Wasp felt very shoehorned in. I don't know why they just didn't go back to just calling it Ant-Man. That would have made so much more sense. You could have had everything still in there, and if it was just called Ant-Man and the Wasp came and saved Scott Lang, it wouldn't have felt like it was shoehorned in. I wish it would have just been called Ant-Man Wrestlemania. It just, I don't know, just having an Ant-Man would have made so much more sense. Because Ant-Man does go through an arc in this movie, somewhat of an arc in this movie. He goes through he has this kind of trusting himself more to be the hero that he needs to be for Cassie and for himself as well. All in all, I think this movie was very mid. It wasn't super great. The jokes aren't getting better, but when Paul Rudd says anything really that's remotely funny, I tend to get a good kick out of it. But I would watch it just for the sake so you can form your own opinion. And yeah, that's all I've got for you for today. Remember to follow God, stay safe, protect your energy, and without further ado, peace!